Lights. Camera. I'm ready for my close-up.
Action.
The Nerd Update has a new home. At Studio B in Rarig Hall at the University of Minnesota, we have plenty of wondrous facilities to shoot our episodes with. I mean, look around.
Hello, I am a Haypenny,
And I'm...
and this is the Nerd Update.
We bring you the internet's most compelling news and speculation regarding the superhero film industry.
Our goal is to bring you this news in a clear, reliable, and entertaining fashion.
Today, we're taking a final look back on the Dark Knight trilogy. Just some more kind of interesting stuff about the Dark Knight Rises. This will be our last update before it comes out, so big things to come.
We'll be sure to
Very
give
excited.
you, a recap after the movie. We're both seeing it at midnight.
Yep.
Don't worry.
So first of all, some interesting Christopher Nolan news.
Previously, we had reported to you after reading a couple things that Nolan had agreed to stay on to produce the new Batman movies coming out in the future, at least the first one.
The reboot's supposed to come out 2014, 2015.
Yeah, you can watch one of our previous videos for our feelings on that. However, recently we have read from Entertainment Weekly that he will not be returning to produce or be an executive producer for any upcoming Batman films or the Justice League.
And that's not to say that he's against it happening. He's said that he's had his version of the character and he knows that it'll be up for interpretation in the future. He's fine with that. He's just said his piece and he's finished, which is
respect that. I'm glad
very,
he's
very
not
respectful.
trying to
Yeah.
dig his claws in, or whatever, and make it his. Like, I think that's a very good way to handle this.
So the last take on Christopher Nolan's DC universe will be when I believe he's still the producer or executive producer of Superman, Man of Steel, but that'll be it. So.
Be interesting to see where he goes from there.
Yes, indeed. In other news, The Dark Knight Rises will be opening on 15,000 screens internationally, which is 4,000 more than The Dark Knight opened with.
That's a huge jump.
A lot more. This is for a couple reasons. One is because The Dark Knight didn't do all that well worldwide compared to how well it did in the US alone. It's the fourth highest grossing film of all time. Worldwide, it's a pretty good amount lower on that list.
Depending on how they do the prices and everything, it usually comes out around 11th worldwide. So.
And also, because The Dark Knight Rises is 2 hours and 45 minutes long, which is a lot longer and also makes it harder to have as many screenings per day per screen, they're hoping to make up for that with more screens.
To broaden their audience more than anything. And
which is cool. I mean,
awesome.
Hopefully it will just sweep the world and just demolish every record and...
Dark Knight Rises world.
Yep, it'll change everything. I do almost feel like we're leading up to the apocalypse a little bit.
In a way. This movie, for those of you who haven't seen the trailers, looks incredible. I mean, just huge, larger than life. And Christopher Nolan has really been giving us some cool insight into his inspiration. I mean, you were reading about that recently.
He has said that he's been watching a lot of old silent films on Blu-ray with his kids, which is a funny image to me.
Endearing.
Yeah. He's been saying that he really appreciates the scale, the huge scale of these silent films, like Metropolis, the Fritz Lang's Metropolis, this sci-fi epic film. He said that he really wanted to inject that epic sensibility into a modern American blockbuster. He says that this is the most sweeping epic film to come out in America since the silent era, which I don't think that he would just...
That's a big claim.
That's a brazen thing. You don't just throw that around,
And Christopher Nolan hasn't been known to blow smoke before his movies.
Yeah.
If anything, he's more reserved than the majority of directors
It's very
out
true.
there.
It's very true.
And so the fact that he's saying that is so exciting.
Absolutely.
To me. So we just kind of wanted to sum up the whole excuse me here. To sum up the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, we just kind of wanted to break things down for you. Batman Begins was released June 15th, 2005, ran about 140 minutes, cost $150 million, ended up making $373 million, and it was the 190th highest grossing movie of all time. Each of these movies has so far picked up, with The Dark Knight, released on July 18th, 2008, 152 minutes, 12 minutes longer, cost $185 million, made over $1 billion, and was the 11th highest grossing film of all time. With The Dark Knight Rises, it has a scheduled release date for July 20th, 2012, runs 165 minutes, which is a whole 25 minutes longer than Batman Begins. It would cost $250 million, $100 million more than Batman Begins. And we don't know what it's made yet, because we're not telepaths. Nathan?
Oh.
Thank you for joining us again for another wonderful episode of the Nerd Update.
It was a good one.
Please feel free to leave your comments, questions, concerns, all in the comments section below, or, like our video.
But yes, no, thank you. Yes, no. Yeah, no.
Welcome to the studio.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you again soon.
Thanos! Did you say Thanos? Yeah, I did.